Hey everybody, this is Bonnie with Bonnie Bay Crochet and welcome to Friday Fun Live. Let me go ahead and get this situated a little bit better so that you're not looking directly into my kitchen. Who knows what you're going to see there. We have a lot of fun things to talk about today. And I can't wait to show you all these things. I've got stacks all around me. So I may not get to the entire chat, but I will do my very best as I always try to do. Um, anyway, I hope you all are well. Hope you're enjoying the temperatures we've been having. It's been a little bit cool. Actually, it's been a lot cooler where I am in Maryland, so we're really thankful for that. Been able to get out and about. Let me just go ahead and start with greeting some of those who've been waiting. Let me go ahead and rearrange this. Just to let you all know, I'm reading from the live chat. There are a lot of variations on this. So, Brat's mom, good morning. Linda, great to have you with us. She says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, Becky, and all my dear Yarnies from warm and sunny, for now, Chicago, Southwest Chicago suburbs. Please, friends, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Prayers for all. Thank you so much, Linda. And Angie, good morning to you. And Denise and Hannah, I'm so glad you're here. And Brenda, I'm so glad that you are here. She says that Brenda says 96% humidity in Pensacola, Florida. Ugh, glad to be home with AC watching you. I know Pensacola. One of my children was married there. Has it been 9, 10 years ago already? Good grief. In Pensacola in August. And yeah, we know humidity. Plus, growing up down in South Florida, yeah, I know humidity. I get you. I'm glad you have AC. Um, I see Grammy Rita waving right back at you. She says a little warm at 104. It feels like temperature of 107. Stay inside. That just makes me hot. I've got a little bit of ice water right beside me here. Ooh, just in case. Anyway, and we have Sono from Oklahoma City. Great to have you. And Nanette from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Wow, getting a lot of the western states out there. Fantastic. Um, yeah, well, let me go ahead and dive right in, okay? While people were waiting for people to come, I have a new video coming for you on Monday. It's not a video where you're going to make something, but where you're going to. Let me go ahead and turn this a little bit. Hold on a second. I'll just leave it. It looks kind of creepy with that mannequin behind me, but I'm just going to leave it. Um, I am going to do a video or I have done a video evaluating some crochet hooks. I'm not going to give you any details right now, but I do have the links to these. Let me go ahead and get my glasses back on. I do have the links to these in my video description, should you want to look at them ahead of time. They are all made in China, which, it's not a shocker anymore. The crochet hooks that I love, I think, are made in India. So, unfortunately, for the United States, a lot of manufacturing has just been shipped overseas, and there is not a brand that I'm aware of that's made exclusively in the United States, unless you buy something that's absolutely handmade by a specialty person. But I'm going to be evaluating these sets of hooks in the video. Okay. And I'm not going to say a whole lot. Okay, you can't see this because it's in this gorgeous case. There's another set. I have been using these for months, off and on, just testing them here, testing them there in different circumstances, just to see what I think. And I'm giving you my full lowdown, very geeky in the video. It's coming Monday, early Monday morning. So you can check this out. Again, these are all inline hooks. These are hooks that I can use because for those of you who don't know the difference, let me go ahead and give them real quick. Okay, this is an inline. Let me see if I can do that. Let me see that. That's an inline hook. You can see how inline that is. This is a tapered hook. Now hold them. I'll try to hold them if I have the coordination. Holding them together. Hold on. There we go. So you can see they are different. All right. And for whatever reason, my muscle memory is hooked, haha, on the inline hooks. And forever, there's just been one brand that I've gravitated towards, the Susan Bates, because I just haven't found anything else. Well, that's no longer the case. I found some others. So I wanted to evaluate them for you, and I have done that. Check out the video on Monday, if you will. And as I say in the video, let me have it in the comments. Tell me what you think. Don't hold back. That's what the comment section is for. I look forward to hearing what you think about all that. Looks like we've had some more folks come into the chat. Oh yeah. We have let's see. Walk by Faith. Oh, what a good handle. Welcome. Good morning to you. And JY Good says, good day from sunny but cold Canberra, Australia. Up very late. Oh my goodness. Yes, you are. You all are 16 hours. Is that right? Ahead of us here in the east, on the east coast of the United States. Thank you for joining us. We actually, we were just talking about Australia the other day. I posted a post, just reminded me of this. I was sitting down watching Bluey. Of course, the world loves Bluey, coming out of Australia. It's a cartoon for children, very family focused, very just beautiful in every way. And I'm going to start crying if I think about some of the episodes, but because they're so good. They're so well crafted. Something that my grandkids enjoy a lot. There's a lot of garbage out there for children's viewing. Bluey is totally the opposite of that. It's just beautiful. And they had an episode yesterday, and I just took a picture of the TV screen. The mom was teaching the older daughter who's Bluey, how to crochet. How amazing is that? And they distinguished it as crochet, and she was clearly holding a crochet hook and doing the motions of crochet. They weren't getting any of that confused. And to that I say, fantastic, glory, hallelujah. So anyway, if y'all looking for a great show for your kids to watch, for your grandkids or kids or whatever, Bluey has my Bonnie Bay crochet recommendation. Been watching it for a long time, and my kids, my children who are their mothers and fathers, love the show as well. So anyway, Australia, thank you so much. That just triggered that in my head. Heather, great to have you. She says, finally making a live. Hope all are doing well. Yes, God is good. We're getting through. We're getting by. Yeah, and before I go too much further, let me let you know that next Friday I'm going to have to cancel because Thursday, Friday's the weekend. I'm going to be traveling. We're have a lot of things to do, to deal with the house following the passing of my mother-in-law. So we can't take any of it with us. So others get to deal with it. So it's a blessing. It's a mixed blessing. So but anyway, I will miss seeing you all next week. Again, on the road, back and forth, quick trip. But hopefully we'll be able to, I think, be there the next Friday. But August, let me go ahead and remove this. August is a very, very busy month for me. And let me go ahead and fill in one main reason why, besides birthday parties for little guys around here. Stitchburg, which formerly Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival, but they're calling it Stitchburg Fiber Festival, is going to be in Mars, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of Pittsburgh. August 21st through the 23rd at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Pittsburgh Cranberry. So do make note of that. If you've been to the show in the past, it's at a different location. So don't go to the Green Tree location. You're not going to find us there. It's at Pittsburgh Hilton. Okay, DoubleTree by Hilton, Pittsburgh Cranberry. Those are the words you'll need. That information is also in the video description, because I know it's a lot of words. I'll be teaching 5 classes, and they've been shortened this year to 2-hour segments. So you'll be able to shop more. You'll be able to take more classes, whatever. I'll be teaching on Friday multiple ways to crochet ribbing, also introduction to reading crochet patterns and stitch diagrams. It's not as complicated as it sounds, and I promise to demystify that for you in that class. If you don't know how to read crochet patterns, I promise you will know at least where to start. You'll know how to do it when you leave, and the stitch patterns, the stitch diagrams, you're not going to be afraid of those at all if you have any fear of that. On Saturday, I'll be teaching beginning knitting for crocheters, starting from absolute zero to knitting and purling as you leave. I promise you'll be able to do this. I go very slow and meticulously because I don't assume anything about having any prior experience. No, you don't have to have any prior knitting experience. If you have crochet experience, that's a great help. This will help you so much better than if you've never done crafts before. I'll also be teaching Celtic weave and beyond, and crocheting the Saxon cable. Lots and lots of fun things. There are going to be many other classes too you can choose from. A lot of things: weaving, knitting, crocheting. I think even some quilting classes. So check it out. There's a link in the video description for this year's Stitchburg Fiber Festival. I hope to see you there. And even if you don't take classes, but if you're just in the area, I believe it's a $5 entrance fee into the marketplace, and there are a lot of vendors. I don't know the exact number, but it's an entire ballroom that's going to be filled wall to wall with vendors of all sorts. And this is, I think, a much larger ballroom than the hotel where we used to be at. The organizers are very excited about the new location, so hope to see you there. If you are planning on coming and you want to do like an outside lunch or dinner together, this is just for my Bonnie Bay Crochet followers, friends, whatever. Email me, bonniebay@me.com. You have access to me whenever. And if you're going to be, again, if you're going to be in the area, you're going to come, let me know. And we will try to organize something. I'll send out an email and we'll try to organize something. I don't know what's in that area. In the past, we've had really a lot of fun getting folks together and going to the Olive Garden and having a nice meal at the end of a long day to decompress. And it's been a lot of fun for me. So if that's something that's interesting to you, just, again, email me and we will put you in the loop. All right. Let me get back to the chat. Hey, Denise, I'm glad that you're here. And Wanda Bigelow, great to have you. She says, I won't be able to stay because I have, blood work drawn. Love your top. Thank you so much, Wanda. Yeah, I got to go for my blood draw on Monday. I need to remember that. Got to do all these things. You get past a certain age. But thank you about the top. I did put a link in the video description. It'll have the top. Let me see if I can put that a little bit higher. There's a top behind me. There we go. If you can see that. So that top, the top that I'm wearing, I'll just go ahead and put this back down again. They're all in the list in the video description below. There's just a playlist of various tops for the summer that you can make. And do I have the yarn handy? I do not, but I love to use, anyway, I like to use the Universal Yarns Bamboo Pop Sock yarn. And if you go to any of these, to the information, you'll see the information for the yarn right there. But I love this yarn. It's nice and stretchy. It stretches where you want it to. It can kind of compress when, so that you look like Ginger and not Gilligan, if you know what I mean, with some of the way these tops fit. It's not like a sloppy sweatshirt. It is kind of a little more fitted, but I kind of like that. I've washed this a number of times. Wash it in my lingerie bag, in the front loader. I don't have a twisty agitator thing, so it's a front loader. And then I take it and I lay it out to dry on my sweater dryer that I got from Amazon. Anyway. Oh, wow. Thank you, Hannah. Nancy Boo says she's crocheting the Bloom baby blanket while watching the live stream using a mint green chenille. That's so soft and fun. Oh, that sounds delightful. I love that kind of chenille yarn. You do have to be careful though. It's hard. I think when cutting that yarn, sometimes it'll just kind of shed, but it's a lot of fun to work with. All right. Let's see, where am I? Okay, I landed with Wanda. And Jesus Joy, thank you for joining us. Says hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and Yarny community. I pray everyone's doing well. Thank you so much. I hope you all those ligaments and everything are healing, and that you're doing well. All right. Where did I just? Okay, I did that. Okay. Sometimes it's just the whole thing just jumps, and I need to find out where I left off. Thank you again, Hannah, for responding and making people feel welcome in the chat. And Karen, good day to you too. And J.Y. Good says to Hannah, it's really nice that you work with your mom. Yes, she is a blessing. She is a blessing for sure. And I think if things work out, and if Hannah doesn't, if Hannah doesn't begin doesn't have any better to do, I'm hoping to bring her with me to Pittsburgh, so y'all can meet her. And she's coming to Boise with me. Let me tell you about that. It's going to be a threesome, my husband too, although Hannah and my husband might disappear somewhere. I don't know. But I am going to be at the Yarny Social October 22nd through the 24th. Okay, October 22nd through 24th. Information is also in the video description. That festival there will be, let's see, if you join the full ticket, and I know some people have commented that the ticket's a little expensive. Well, it is, but it includes all the classes. You don't have to pay for any classes or, extra goods. I mean, there's going to be a goodie bag, a really generous one, I believe. And there's also going to be, I believe, 3 different teachers. I'm one of the 3, and many different classes and activities that you can participate in. So just keep that in mind. It's kind of an all-inclusive thing. And if you don't want to do that, but you just want to go to the yarn market, I think there's just a very small nominal fee to get in to do that. And you can see some of the local things that will be in the market. So definitely, consider that. And information, you can just click on the link below in the video description if you want to find more about that. I'll be teaching classes, broomstick lace, as well as crochet cables for the faint of heart. And I'll also be doing kind of a fun demo with decorating denim with crochet and beads and glue with sparkles, and just so much fun you can have. And I'm going to be, I think, bringing some hats with me so we can experiment with these as well. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with those as of yet. So let me go ahead, since I'm on a roll. I wanted to first start off positively, and that is to tell you that all my books have been added back, probably not this one, added back into my Etsy store. Books like Contemporary Celtic Crochet, Celtic Cable Crochet. All of these books, I can only ship to the US unless you make a special arrangement, because it is just so expensive. Let's see what this. Okay, I'll get to that in just a second, Hannah. So, but in the US, and the price that you see in my Etsy store includes the shipping costs. So I just wanted you to know that. Winning at the fair, yes, the fair is coming up, and I know a little bit about what we're talking about here. I have a beautiful collection of ribbons by the grace of God, and have learned and have experienced a few times, getting the best in show, and it's exhilarating. That's all I'll say. It's kind of like living a dream. But that fair is coming up in my area. It starts very, very soon, this month, like in a week or so. Okay, self-striping projects. These are all books that are in my online store. This is my oldest publication, published in 2009. Aaron Afghans. I do have a one, I believe one uh, project on my YouTube channel from this one. All of these in this booklet have videos, video tutorials. Um, Celtic cable throws to crochet. And here's another one, 4 seasons of Celtic cable crochet or cable crochet throws, and Celtic crochet shawls and scarves. And I do sign all of these before they leave my online store. I ship them out right from here. Okay, cable crochet made easy, and all of the last 4 that I've shown you have complete video tutorials for everything in the book, as well as easy beginner baby blankets. This also has videos. I'm looking at this little baby because this baby is like this high now. He's my neighbor's daughter's uh, son, and he's huge. Babies don't stay babies for very long. All right, okay, and I wanted to show you this first in a positive way, and I love sending these out, and I really appreciate your support there, because I have some. It's kind of like good news, bad news, and what I'm about to say. Let me just be clear from the onset. This has no reflection on Etsy. Okay. Personally, I really enjoy Etsy. I have purchased things like my watch band. I have certain makers on there that I really like. They're real people. This is part of their living, how they make a living. Unfortunately, I had to post yesterday about some things that happen on there, but let me just say, it's not just Etsy, because I didn't mean to trigger people with a post on Facebook yesterday, and about half of you all, or I don't know if it's you, but maybe other people, their response to that is, well, I'm just going to boycott Etsy. I never buy from Etsy. Well, do you buy from Amazon? That's where I sell a lot of my books too. And there are, okay, do you ever buy from eBay? Do you ever buy from Facebook Marketplace? Do you ever buy from Ravelry? Do you ever buy from any of those other places? Because what I'm going to share happens there too. So I just wanted to encourage y'all, if you're going to even buy something from an email that comes into your email box. I mean, I get more scams directly to me through my email than I ever encounter. But I mean, all that to say, I'm not trying to say Etsy's perfect. I mean, in this side of heaven, nothing is going to be perfect. And there is going to be fraud. There's going to be theft. There's going to be all sorts of sin. And that's not necessarily the fault of the platforms, is just what I'm trying to say. If you disagree, let me have it in the comments. But and people have said, okay, well, let me just show you. I have another. This is the same seller. You can see where the name is right down there. Snuggle Babies. I want to do everything that I can to dissuade you from ever giving this person business. I have tried and tried for her to stop selling this, and then it'll be taken down for a little while, and then it just goes right back up. This is just one, I'm convinced, of many patterns. Whomever does not have permission to sell. I tried contacting her again, and she blocked me. So I don't know. She probably reported me as aggressive. I don't know. But I wanted her to stop, him, her, it, whatever, to stop selling this. I do not personally own the rights to this, but Annie's Addict does. This was one of my publishers. And as you know, a lot of magazines no longer exist. And one of the main reasons for that is, I don't know, there's a lot of different reasons, but certainly um, selling their copyrighted materials as their own, in a scamish way, isn't helping the company, isn't helping them to be able to, hire designers to do new work. It just all works against us. And so, how do you know when you buy from anywhere online? Well, you have to be careful. You have to do some research. And for the record, this person has a higher rating on Etsy than I do. I think mine is a 4.9, which I'm very blessed to have. Hers is 5.0. So you really can't tell by that. I don't know how much of that is bots, how much of that was created through interaction. I don't know. And I'm going way too long on this. I'm sorry. But what I wanted you just to remind everybody is to be careful when you buy things online. Just make sure that you know that it's real, that the person is real. You can even try looking their name up online to see if they have a digital footprint. Do they have a website? Do they have other things where you could see a picture of a real person or not? And if not, maybe go on to something different. I mean, that's just basically what I do. And also, when getting emails for things, always check their address, where they're from. And if it's not something you recognize, block it, delete it, do not respond to it, do not click on any of the links, because that's how they get into your system. Well, anyway, so and the other thing about Etsy, people say, oh, it's impossible to get rid of it. It's not impossible. I cannot file like a publisher's complaint against them because I don't own the publication rights. Annie's does. But if something like that comes up that I own the rights to, I will definitely act on it. But here's another reason why this keeps happening is because it's very time consuming. And to be able to fight this every day, I would be fighting it every day. I would be spending a few hours a day on this if I dealt with every single time this happened. And that's where I just say, just to my friends out there, be careful. Um, and I would much prefer to be working on new designs and booklets and throws and sweater, things with my crochet hooks than getting my blood pressure up over this. But I will say there was another seller whom somebody let me know of this morning who was selling the exact same one, and they even watermarked it with their logo. But they were under the impression, and this was from somebody from Europe, they were under the impression that it was a vintage pattern that you can be resold. And I'm like, no, it's not vintage. Copyright laws do vary from country to country, I think. I don't know that there's an international standard on that. Correct me if you are a lawyer and you know more about this. But I've heard people say, oh, just 2 years, and then it's what do they call it? It's you can't make money on it anymore. And I'm like, that's bogus. That's nonsense. Some people have told me that from other countries. And I'm like, no, well, that's not the way it is in the United States. As long as people, I mean, it has minimum 70 years copyright. And it can be, and copyrights can be renewed. They can be renewed from generation to generation. And that has happened. I've seen that with some things, with some hymns and things like that. So all that to say, just be careful. But to credit the person who was selling it from Europe, I just sent a little blip to them. I contacted them through the messaging service on Etsy and said, did you design this? And they honestly said, no, this is a vintage pattern that I'm reselling. And did you design it? And I said, yes, I did. And the copyright is owned by Annie's, and they took it down right away. And also, Snuggle Babies, somebody out there from my Facebook post, I just want to say thank you, did contact them or somebody, and somehow they did take this down. They took it down last night. But I wouldn't be surprised if she puts it up, he, she, it, whatever, puts it up next week again. But all that to say, be on the lookout for scams, because even if they're enticing you with something pretty, is I don't even know what they're going to deliver to you. And I don't want to be held accountable for that. But okay, that's enough. I didn't mean to go on to that diatribe, but I did. Well, let me show you some pretty things. My son, Hudson, and his beautiful bride, Molly, really blessed me with a couple of goodies the other day, just out of the blue for no reason. I've got my yarn earrings that my daughter Becky made for me years ago. And anyway, Molly sent me these, gave me these, and it matches a shirt that they made at a workshop at a yarn store. And it's at the Underground Yarn and Bookshop. This is, I think, in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And so my son made this shirt for me. He did the tie dyeing of it. Isn't that beautiful? And he asked me what colors, and I said, you know me, blues and greens are great. So I have this beautiful shirt and the matching earrings to go with it. Excuse me. Isn't that fun? So I'll have to wear this sometime. It's always fun going into new yarn stores. You'd be proud of me. I went to a brand new yarn store, and it was outside. Okay, I think it was in Ashland. It was in Ashland, Virginia, which is outside of Richmond. And it was a delightful store. I didn't buy anything. I think it was called the Yarniverse. So I want to give credit to them. They're doing a fantastic job. Very friendly store. They would welcome you. You walk in and then even check with you, not in a bugging way, but in a friendly way. Do you need any help? Just let me know. And very friendly staff. They had a lot of crochet there. They had some knitting too. It was kind of like 50-50. So I was very encouraged that it was very crochet friendly. Having children living in Richmond, I will be by there again. I honestly didn't need anything, and I'm kind of gearing up for Pittsburgh. So that's kind of going to be probably be spending some more in Pittsburgh. But anyway, another store to check out, the Yarniverse in Ashland, Virginia. Okay, Hannah is sending me some questions here. She says there's a prayer request from We Three Bees. What a great name, by the way. Says, please pray to Jesus for my husband, Brian. Our lawn tractor turned over. Oh, I don't like the Hess. Oh. And he hit his head hard on our driveway. We are heading to the ER. I am so sorry, We Three Bees. We will definitely be praying for that. Those of you who pray, please remember them. Hope that things are okay. I know what it's like to hit your head. I hit my head pretty hard on Saturday at one of these ceilings in the loft. I was helping bring some stuff with my son Hudson and his wife Molly, and I hit, that the ceiling was like this, and I didn't see it because it was like it just blended in, and I just hit my head full force, and it's taken me a couple days to. I was fine at first, but like 2 days later, you start to feel the effects of these, like a concussion thing. It's very mild, but doing a lot better today. Just had a couple of days there that were just not good. So I do hope, We Three Bees, I really hope things turn out okay. That's scary. Walk by Faith says, are your classes virtual for those of you that can't attend? For those of us that can't attend, no, the classes at the conferences are not. They're in person only. However, I do have something called the Watch Channel, and starting up in the fall, I'm going to be getting back to more, more not one-on-one, but small group instruction through Zoom. So if you're interested in that, it is a paid subscriber channel, and it's $7.95 a month, which I think is reasonable. I mean, it's cheaper than what you can buy a fast food meal out anymore. Probably less than a cup of coffee now, depending on where you buy your coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't really, I don't enjoy coffee. I'm not against coffee. I think it's great that you all enjoy the coffee. And I wish I had that gene too, but I didn't get it when the coffee gene was being passed out at creation. So so yeah, if you're looking for kind of like Zoom kind of things, I would just recommend the Watch channel. I do have some classes already pre-recorded that you can watch there, and some other additional um, offerings than what my public YouTube channel has. Plus, with the channel, you have complimentary patterns on most of the things that I have on there. The only ones that I don't provide, I say this a lot, the only ones I don't provide are ones I don't own the copyright for. I take copyrights very seriously. Um, and I like to obey the laws that I'm aware of. But anyway, if you want to check that out, there is a link also in the video description. Um, Yeah, Hannah's telling me that she remembers doing tie dye once and didn't like the way the colors turned out, so she'll have to do it again. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Maybe have Molly and Hudson help us with that, Hannah. Prayer request from Joe Has Yarn. That's again another great handle. Hi, Bonnie and Hannah. Please pray for Naughty by Maxine, a fellow crocheter. Her mom is gone on hospice last week, but she's a believer, but having a hard time during this process. Thank you. Oh, I know what that's like. Since we just finished walking through that in June. Yeah, funeral in July. Yeah, this it's still very fresh. So thank you for sending those to me, Hannah. I will add those to my prayer list once we're done with the live. All right. So let's get back to some fun stuff here. Sorry to get into all that about Etsy and all. I just putting my perspective out there. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree, disagree? It's okay if you want to shoot me down on that one. I know people feel very strongly one way or the other about things like that, but I see Etsy as being in a quandary because let me just say, I'm gonna just say this one more thing about that. Because if you've been online for 5 minutes, you know that people can be very mean. And I know that people can sometimes, if they can easily go through the process of getting you dinged, in your store, um, by various ways, leaving a terrible review, which I've had people do that to me. Okay, whatever. Even if it was because of nothing that I did, but that happens a lot. Not so much on Etsy, but just in social media in general. Uh, on Amazon, it's easy to leave a bad review if you don't like somebody, and you know what I'm talking about. The vindictive stuff happens, and I think Etsy, to cover themselves legally, cannot entertain everything unless they go through the proper channels. And that's, I think, why it's a little bit tedious, because they want to be sure that if you're going to do this, that you're serious and that you're not just pranking somebody or trying to tear down another creator. That happens. That happens. People can be just mean to each other. So, um, again, I know Etsy's not perfect, but all right, I'm going to move on. I'm really going to move on from that. So, oh, thank you. Thank you for the encouraging comment. Nancy Boo says, your Celtic throw pattern was the first cable pattern I ever crocheted in a grayish aqua green color. It's always our go-to blanket. Oh, how sweet. The pattern was enjoyable and directions easy to follow. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Um, and yeah, thank you for that. And I do, just on the flip side, I do take negative comments seriously too, because if there's something that I need to correct, I want to get that correction pushed out there as soon as I can and make things right. Just living in a human world and an imperfect world, that's just what you got to do. Have a question from Heather. Says, hey Bonnie, a couple of weeks ago you showed a white or off-white stole. Will we be seeing that soon? It was gorgeous. Yes, Heather. I just am trying to get pictures. It's been a very busy household here. We have a lot of joy in it currently, and they're under 3 feet tall. under 4 feet tall. And it's just been very busy. I just need to get some modeled shots of that, write it up, and send it off to my tech editor. I probably look for it maybe late August. August is going to be very busy. Sometime maybe September will probably be when I start rolling out some of the wearables. And I do have I have one, two, I have like 4 things on the docket. I just need to get my act together and get things done. Things have kind of been set back a lot with the just the care that we gave to my mother-in-law during May and June, and so thankful that I have a job where I could do that. But we were just very busy. What was supposed to be a 2-week interval turned into a 2-month, and then hospice, and then a funeral. So I'm a little behind. Well, more than a little, but I am behind on some of my design work. But let me go ahead and just take that and just show you what I have been able to get done. We do have the drifting weave pattern is available, kind of a summer, try this again, summer fun, not a fummer sun, summer fun project. My tongue is dialectic right now. And here's another one, the easy round wattle stitch. It can be a trivet, it can be a dishcloth. You can fold it in half, use it as a hot pad, or you can just do several rounds and make a small little, a coaster. How about that? The cup even matches a coaster for your drink. So that was something that we were able to get accomplished. I have a future. I'm going to go ahead and show you a future design. Again, this will be coming in September. This is, again, using the drifting weave. This is a hat. And we have a matching scarf. Of course, it's a long scarf, but a matching scarf. And I'm really excited about this. This is going to be featured by Warm Up America soon. So you'll be able to either get it through them or through me. But again, it's not been released yet. This will be in September sometime. And what was I going to say about this? This was just a lot of fun. Oh, I know. This I think is a very good candidate for a guy set, hat and scarf set. A lot of the things that we make can be a bit ornate and just really pretty. And my guys in particular are like, I'm not wearing that because it looks too much like something a gal would wear. But I think I can get them to wear something like this. And so I'm in the process of remaking that. Just wanted to thank Anthem or Cascade Yarns for sending me the Anthem. They're doing the yarn support for Warm Up America, so I'm really glad for that. They sent this to me, and we have this color, and we also have the brown. So I'll be remaking it in one of these very, very soon. So this, and by the way, this is 100% acrylic yarn. Is that right? Let me double check. I know it's 100% acrylic. I just want to make sure it wasn't like an acrylic nylon blend. Okay, so this is 100% acrylic yarn. When I made the original, I used their Cascade 220, which is a wool, 100% wool. So they wanted it to be made in something, I guess, that people wouldn't be allergic to, and also something that'd be a little more cost effective for everybody. So that'll be coming probably in September sometime, but it will be coming in time for you to get something like this made. These work up really, really quickly. And I love doing the stitch now. It's just so much fun. I'm going to have to add this to I'm going to have to make an Afghan with that stitch and, and combine it with other things. I think that was going to be a lot of fun. All right. I have really gotten behind on you guys in the chat. I'm sorry. All right. Let's keep it going here. In Australia, it's 2 when she posted. It's 2 a.m. Thank you, JY Good. And Janice is so glad to have you here. And is it Cade? Cajun? Okay, Denise. Okay. Well, you said not to hold back. So, inline hooks are not my thing. Getting back to the hooks, strongly dislike them, and I have been forced to use them when using super bulky yarn. Sorry, Denise. I feel the same way about tapered hooks. I had to do the only well, I won't get into all that, but let's just say my brain is like on fire. It has to work so hard when I have a tapered hook. But it again, in the video, I'm going to talk about a lot about that and about muscle memory more than you probably will ever want to hear. But yeah, once your muscle memory gets set on one or the other, I promise you, it's just really hard to change. And Margita, so glad to have you in the chat. And Cynthia, oh, she says, I love Bluey. Yes, isn't that a great show? And so does Janice. Thank you. Um, and Denise says, I love working bulky yarn, but don't as much because of that. Yeah, with the hook. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Heather says, our grandchildren love Bluey. Yes, yes, yes. Denise says, I have recently found some tapered hooks in larger sizes. Thank goodness. Yeah, that's the thing. I think you just have to look out, with the hooks and just see, all the different brands that there are. There are a bunch of them out there now. My quandary has been when they bring out these beautiful, beautiful hooks, they're all tapered. They have the most gorgeous, cushy handles to die for. Just got a thumbs up on there. And but I can't use them as beautiful as they are because the way the hook is shaped, and I'm gonna get all into that, in the video that's coming on Monday. JY Good says, "My grandchildren love Bluey as well. It's nice to have safe programs you can leave the children to watch." Yes, it is, and yes, it is, and we've had to limit, some of the things or just don't even go into any of them. Some of, this is gonna probably be foreign to a lot of you. One of our children's favorite things when they were growing up, we would watch, this was Christian-based music and storytelling, but, it was a guy named Rob Evans, and he calls himself the Donut Man. And so those are on YouTube now. It's been great because my, my daughter's been able to pull them up on YouTube and watch them with the kids, and yeah, they're dated. I mean, they were made in the early '90s, but the music quality, the messaging are excellent. So, I mean, you have to really, yeah, really find good things for the next generation because there's a lot of garbage out there now. We have to be so careful. Gotta guard the heart, guard be gatekeepers with ourselves too, but especially for the little ones who don't have the discernment yet. And Mary says, by the way, Elise Rose tried thread crochet as a has a YouTube on it. There are some Facebook groups for thread crochet, which involves antique crochet. Very good to know, Mary. Thanks for letting us know that. And Rochelle says, hi, everyone. This is my first time on this live chat. Could someone please let me know what time this starts? We always start at noon Eastern time, or at least that's the goal. There was one time where I started very late, but that was extenuating circumstances, caring for an elder. So, okay. And Rochelle says, hello. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for, okay. The live starts at, thank you, Hannah. Okay. I didn't say Hannah is telling her it starts at 12. Thank you, Hannah. And Janice, thank you for helping with that too. And Jesus Joy says, Hannah, I hope you're enjoying your summer. Today it's going to be in the 80s. Yes, it's glorious. I just wish I had my little car to drive. My husband's been using it for work so that we can have the larger car for everybody. But anyway, I'm backing up because there's a lot of comments here. Sorry, guys, I got really behind. Okay, here we go. I'm way behind. I'm just going to try to get through here. Felicia, it's great to have you with us. Yes, standard time. That's correct, Rochelle. And Felicia, great to have you here. And Hannah's saying it's been okay about the summer, but I'm really excited for fall and winter. Those are my favorite seasons. Me too. Um, and let's see. And Jesus Story 7 says Hobby Lobby has got fall decorations and Christmas out. Yeah. But as crafters, if we want to make Christmas presents, we need to get on the stick now or on the hook now and get busy. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand it's a little early, but if we're makers, we have to make and we got to get it done soon so we have peace, right? But yeah, but I do understand it's just like, it's so hot out and there's Christmas trees in the store. And Carol's asking, "Hi, Hannah, Bonnie, and all. Hope all are well." Yes, Carol, thank you. Very much doing better than we deserve. Very blessed, for sure. And she says she's enjoying life with her niece and nephew. They're doing well. Good, good. And MS Jet if I, says from good morning from Southern Arizona. Well, welcome. I love your state. I would love to go back and visit at some point. Uh, Hope everything is okay back there. And Sono says, working on my 50 stars for the heirloom flag Afghan. Hopefully, I got the ratio size correct. Thank you for responding to my email question, Chris. No problem, Chris. I try to get to folks as soon as I can. And just again, coming to the comment Hannah sent me about praying. I hope everything is going well with re3Bs in the ER. Um, And Jesus Joy 7 says, fantastic. I plan to make that throw soon. Have many works in progress I need to complete. Yes. And Alana, sorry I won't be here today. I'm in the Smoky Mountains. See you next week. Well, Alana, I hope you have a great time. And again, people responding to We3Bs. Thank you so much for responding for praying for her and him, Denise and Hannah. And she says, thank you. Do not fear, but pray. Much appreciated. Yes, indeed. And Alana, thank you for caring for them too. And Kim, welcome. And Carol says, thank you. It's exhausting, but it does get my mind off certain things. All right. What was that? Okay, great. And thank you, Janice, for caring for We3Bs. And thank you for praying, putting the prayer there, Jesus Joy. Appreciate that. Let's see. And Carol says, yes, little ones definitely have a ton of energy. They do. It's a blessing, though. Just need to remember, times like this, because it's real easy to have our agenda and to think that anybody or anything that happens is an interruption. And it's actually not true. I just need to see that. And I think I have been, because I haven't been putting a lot of stuff out there. I mean, I've been trying to, be available, to be there to keep an eye on them, to go on excursions to the park or whatever. We're able to do that a little bit. So, go out in the yard and play because that's the priority. That's what's really important. And just trying to be mindful of what's eternal and what is passing. Um, and as much as I love my crafts, my crochet, it's passing. I'm not going to take this with me. I might take the talent. I might take the abilities with me in the next life to be with Jesus. But just the idea, um, just trying to be mindful of what's eternal and what's really important. And I think caring for others definitely is important. All right, I have a question from Hannah from Okay, Denise says, how do you find if a pattern is created and owned by someone? I found the pattern on Etsy and purchased it, but then found the same pattern that is slightly different in chart graph form. So how do I handle that? I found it on Pinterest. I don't know. If there's a way to ask questions of the owner of the site, you can always email them and ask them questions. Ask them, did they create it? Um, Also, I think sticking to like people that you follow. I'm not saying just buy from me. I'm not saying that at all because if you have people that you follow online, you know that they're real. Use the links. Use the store uh, links that you trust. If you're not certain about a link, do not click on it. That's just kind of a given. But beyond that, I wish I could tell you more. I think it's one of those things you just have to be wise, and do the best that you can. This this past, I guess, a couple weeks ago, I was buying ink from my printer. Case in point, okay, I wasn't probably as careful as I could have been, but I was just needing to buy ink for my computer. I have a Hewlett Packard or HP computer. I'm sorry, a printer. And as you well know, the ink costs far more than the printer ever does. So I bought some ink. I wasn't looking for the cheapest ink or anything. I was looking for official HP cartridges for my printer. And so I'm on Amazon and there's a picture of the cartridge or of the pack that I usually buy. Yep, that's it. Put it in my cart and they shipped it to me in a day or two. I get it. And then I realize these are not official Hewlett Packard cartridges, but I was desperate. I needed to print something. So I put them in the machine and the machine's telling me these are not the official cartridges. I says, I know they're not. Um, they they worked some, but half, like a third of the page just wouldn't print. So I took them out and thankfully Amazon took them back. Yeah, I said, I want to return these. I was under the impression they were official. But when you look in the description, it says all this information. And then there's one place that says compatible. And that word, one word, compatible, was a clue to me that these were not official, even though the picture is a duplicate of an official box. So you can't even trust your eyes anymore. So I thankfully was able to get my money back and was able to go to um, go get the real deals and put them in my printer. So I know I'm not being very helpful on how do you tell. You just have to be very careful. And again, maybe just stick with things that you know or publishers that you know and trust, sites that you interact with. Uh, and just sometimes things just go off the rails. So I mean, we all experience that. So I'm sorry. It's living in a sinful world with sinful people like us, with people who just like to do the wrong thing. So yeah. And Jesus Joy says, someone says, it's sad people can't be honest because of stealing, but our technology has created this. Well, it's still the heart. It's still the heart of the person using the technology. So that's again why I have defended Etsy and I will defend them. Um, Not because they're perfect or because they believe all the right things or anything like that, but because I believe they're doing an honest. They're trying, but they also have to protect themselves. Yeah, the technology. I mean, I love YouTube, but I can't say that you should just watch anything that YouTube throws your way because there are a lot of things on YouTube that um, I don't want to see. So, I mean, but there are lots of great content on YouTube as well. There are a lot of wonderful crocheters, knitters, artists of all sorts, music, what have you. Um, anyway, but I digress. All right. But yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just hard. It's just hard to discern. But I do believe there's a heart. There's a human evil heart behind the bad stuff. The technology didn't create it, it just multiplied it. I think it just made it easier for people to do. In that sense, you're right. Um, we just have to be careful. We just have to be, like the Bible says, be Bereans, just have to check things out. And, don't just believe everything. Don't even believe everything I say. Don't believe everything you hear. Double check, do some research, spend some time. Yeah. Thank you, Hannah. She says, yeah, sin is everywhere. Um, but so is Jesus. So that's the good news. Um, Jesus Joy 7 says technology makes it easier and quicker. Yes, it does. And Hannah says, yes, that is scary. And makes it harder to catch the bad guys too. That is true. But let me put a really good period on this one. Yes, it's true. The guy that it's harder to catch the people that do this. And this is why I can smile. The Lord sees all. I'm a Christian. You guys know that. I'm not requiring that of you guys. I think it's a good idea. But my faith teaches me that God sees all. God is very gracious. He's quick to forgive. That's why Psalm 103 is my favorite psalm. He removes our transgression as far as the east is from the west. Um, for those who believe in him and trust him to do so. A lot of these people doing this, they may think they're getting away with a lot, but there will be an accounting one day, and it'd be a lot better for them if the accounting happens this side of heaven instead of the other side of heaven. And I believe that with all my heart, and that's why I can sleep at night, and that's why I don't have to spend a lot of energy tracking this stuff down, because it's like, well, I may have lost a few dollars here, a few dollars there, maybe more than that here, or more than that there. But God sees that too, and He takes care of us, and He takes care of me, and that will be dealt with 100%. So that gives me great peace. And that goes with any kind of transgression against the people do against us and think they've gotten away with things. It's just a good way to have peace, to not let them steal that from us. Jesus Story 7 says, yes, we have to keep praying that the hearts of men change. We can do that. We know who can change them, but yeah, we'll see. He changed mine. It's not perfect yet, but he changed mine. I mean, he can change anybody's heart for sure. But anyway, didn't mean to be so heavy into that, guys, but it's an opportunity to share some truth, so I'm going to do it. And Suzanne, yes, Suzanne, my best recommendations is to only buy things from trusted sellers, period. That's what I try to do. Yeah, you're right, Hannah. As long as there's sin in the world, there will always be sin until Jesus comes back. Or at least that's definitely what we believe. And yeah. Oh, thank you. About the earrings. Thank you, Jesus Joy 7. She says, reminds me of the 60s. The earrings are so cute. Yeah, thank you. The t-shirt reminds me of the 60s too. 60s, 70s for sure. And yeah, thank you guys for encouraging. And Suzanne says, getting on to yarn shops, there are many excellent yarn shops all over New Jersey. That's fantastic. I have not been up there to see that, but I may need to at some point. Okay, what happened? Must have missed something. Okay. Jesus Joy 7 saying yarn stores have been closing in San Diego. So sad. Yeah, I can imagine the rent in San Diego must be astronomical. That's probably why. Taxes and whatnot. Joe has yarn says, okay, we've talked about that. Yeah, Suzanne says the current economic situation is very hard on small businesses. Yeah, it is. But yeah, it can be. It certainly is hard for yarn stores. All right, so it is 1:03, and I think I need to skip on down. I do want to release Hannah, and I thank you all for your comments. I am going to take a look. Let me just take a look real quick. Anybody I missed? Oops, sorry. Let's see. Jesus Joy 7 says, I've seen a project on Etsy. One was AI generated, no pattern available. Oh, that's the other thing, AI generated stuff. I would put that into the scam category. That I've talked long and hard about that in a video you can check out on my channel. I have a whole video on books that use the same titles as my books, and they're absolute nonsense. But yeah, AI is a whole nother blood pressure situation when it comes to design work and just for creators, for artists in general. Thank you, Walk by Faith. You like the drifting weave pattern. I appreciate that. And Jesus Joe 7 says she likes the hat. Green's her favorite color. Yeah. Or my favorite color too. Yes. And Suzanne says it's wonderful to see hats for men. They have bigger heads than women generally. Yes, and I am sizing this one, um, kind of like an extra large sizing that you're going to need to do because this one fits mine, but it's snug. I have a big head, so I usually use a men's sizing. Um, but anyway, uh, and Joe Hajar says, "I'll be starting my Rahab scarf next week. I bought really nice yarn for the first time, and we'll be using your pattern for a beautiful, luscious scarf. I can't wait to see that." All right. Well, okay. I said I was going to go. Let me go ahead. Oh, thank you. I will read this one. Okay. Infinitely Zero says, "Oh, yes. And many crochet designers have a blog website too with their patterns, or they have their information up, and some also have Pinterest sites as well." Yes. And if something just looks off, and if you think that belongs to somebody else, let the person, like I've had people tell me that. And that's how I even found out about this, that I talked about this morning about uh, the Etsy seller. Anyway, it was because one of you told me that this didn't look right. This looks like yours, is it? And I said, yeah, it is. But anyway, but it is time for me to wrap up. So let me go ahead and do this. And what I'm going to read a couple things today. It's not going to be real long. The first is a quote from Anne Frank. For those of you who are familiar, um, she died in a concentration camp during World War II, young woman. And her quote, she says, "No one has ever become poor by giving." And I think that's just a beautiful saying. No, and I think it's true. No one has ever become poor by giving. And that just triggered a Bible verse in my head that I wanted to read to you. And this is God basically speaking through the prophet Malachi, which is the last book in the Bible, for those of you not familiar with the order of the books in the Bible. And he's challenging the people of Israel at the time because they had not been giving, had not been bringing their tithes. And so he says, okay, in verse 10, this is chapter 3 of Malachi, verse 10. "Bring the full tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house, and thereby put me to the test, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you a blessing until there is no more need." And unless I'm wrong, I believe that's the only time in the scriptures where God says, "Put me to the test." We're not to test God. I don't recommend it. But this is the one instance where he says, "Test me in this, you know, bring the whole tithe into the warehouse, give unto me, and I will open the windows of heaven for you and pour down blessings until there's no more need." And I've only been on this earth about 63 years. And I will tell you that this works, that this is true, that I've seen some lean times. I've seen some times um, where I didn't have money for groceries in college, and in the nick of time, even though nobody else knew that, provision was made. I have seen that so many times. I know it's not accidental. I know it's intentional. So I hope that encourages you. And I'm saying this to probably the most giving community in the world. I don't say that lightly. You crocheters give everything you're always giving. What can I make? What can I do for somebody else? And so I know I'm preaching to the choir, as they say, but I just really hope that that encourages you this week. I hope you're as encouraged as I was by reading that quote from Anne Frank. So anyway, have a wonderful week. Don't forget, I'm going to skip next week because I'll be traveling, but then hope to be back again the following. God bless. Bye bye.